everybody, and welcome back to the Knitting Eillets Podcast. I think this is episode 23, and I might call it The End of Summer is Near or something like that, because it definitely feels like that. I'm here in my crafty DIY room where not the last one, but the ones before videos happened. But you might see I have a new backdrop. I could purchase this paravent for some language confusion there in my brain. For 10 francs in Switzerland, basically. So it's very nice, and it has these little pouches, and I want to fill them up with stuff. So maybe I will bring some more yarn or something, or a nice little book or whatever I might find to make it bring it a bit alive here. I might hang a shawl at some point. So I have a bit of a new scenery here, and you can't see the mess that is behind it. So I hope this works. You will see the light from the back, so it's not totally blocking everything. So you will see the light from the back shining through, but I don't think this is a problem. I have some things to tell you and some things to show you, so let's get started. So first, I am wearing a simple muslin dress and nothing special. But over it at the moment, because there's quite a chilly wind, we dropped from 2-3 weeks ago. It was at the beginning of July, it was like 34 degrees, and now we have 20, and rain, thunderstorms, lightning, everything. It starts to feel a bit like autumn. I think it will be hot again. Most likely when I have to start work in school again in the hot classroom, then it will be 34 degrees again. I'm quite sure of that. But I have my finished object to go for that. So, but back to what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my shawl, my huge shawl from the book NAturverliebt Tücher stricken. And I think it's called Afternoon Tea or something. So it's I'm now fully stretched, I can't go any higher, so this is a huge thing. It's like, this is half, and like if I take the corner, the half is like, it's huge. So I love wearing that in summer. It is knitted with a cotton linen blend, I think. I took the yarn suggestion that was in the book, because it was available. It's a German book by TOPP Verlag, and I could get the yarn. So I love wearing this one in summer. It is gorgeous. Mind you, the book chart does have some mistakes, so maybe they corrected it by now, but when I started, this was my first huge lace project, and it had some troubles with the lace chart. And they sent me a correction, and the correction also had a little mistake, but I think they could manage to change that by now. It was years ago. This was my really first big project. So I have the window open. I like to have a bit of an airflow, but it's quite chilly. It's a chilly wind. So I'm actually quite happy to have this. And it's kind of, when I wear it like this, it goes like over my elbows, and I could kind of bind this behind the back, which I might do now, just that it holds it in place. So yeah, I can kind of fold this up, so I have a little bit like a jacket or something. So this is what I'm wearing today, and I love it. It's very soft cotton linen yarn. It's lovely, and it's a beautiful beige color. I can't remember what colorway it was. That was before Ravelry. I knew Ravelry. Well, Ravelry was there, but I didn't know it. So yeah, that was a huge project. It took me very long to make it, half a year. And it was like 600 or 700 stitches at the end. It was a nightmare, but I love this thing. I'm so happy I did it. So that's what I'm wearing when I'm feeling a little bit cold in summer. in the evenings most likely. So yeah, love that one. Now let's go to my finished objects. I have 2.5 again. So let's start with the first one, and it's the one back here. I finished my 2 socks with the yarn from this Mondschaf, the Swiss Yarn Festival dye. Lot is that, and you can now really see the color. I love it. It's a bit more greenish bluish than it is on the screen, but in real life it's a bit more of a minty color, a mint green, and I love it. I mean, it's so gorgeous. I did picot edges because I love them, but just plain 3x1 vanilla socks, nothing special. Now let me put them back. So this was basically just a half finished object because I had the 1 sock the last time. Now I have 2 of them. And then I managed to finish my hope top. You know, I did start with this one. I didn't have too much, but it's finished now. And it is gorgeous. The silk is just wonderful. It has these little speckles. It is off-white, like, you see, this is quite a beige, and this is a little bit of a green tinted beige, and this one is really like this rose golden. It's a beautiful color, and it's so incredible to wear. I love the detail of the neckline with this little cable. So it's really nicely made. It's also very nicely made here in the center, or where the 2 cables meet. So you see here the 2 cables meet and how it goes over, how you join it. It's always at these points. It's in the back and also on the sides. It's very nicely made. It's a lovely pattern. Yeah, the pattern is by Tulip or Dulu MUC. I'm not sure, still not sure how to pronounce the name, and I love it. So this is the back. It's different than the front. So the front is quite a deep V-neck, but not too deep, and you can wear a bra, so it's not seen. You start with 1 front triangle and then the second, and then you take the stitches back up from the cast on edge, and then you do the back and the other back triangle, and then you connect the back and the front, and from there it's just in the round. At the bottom it just has a very small 2x2 ribbing. And there was a little story to that. I was at the last round binding off with 3mm needle. The whole top is knitted with a 3.5mm needle with the silk by Forever Taiga yarns. Well, she dyed it. The yarn she supplies it from somewhere else, but it's a pure silk. This is what I have left of the 2 balls, so it's quite a bit. It's not enough to do another top because I need more than 1 ball, and not just like 5 meters more, but more, like maybe 1 1/3. So I have 2/3. So I'm thinking about doing maybe a scarf, or that I could wear with it, or a little scarf, or I could mix it up with some other yarn. I'm not sure yet what to do, so it's really nice. So back to my story. I was on the last round binding off with my 3mm needles, and then it made tuck, and my needle broke, just like that. Didn't do any much strain on it, I put strain on it, I just knit, and it clicked and it was gone. And I lost stitches, like a lot of stitches. Like it was on this side, and all the stitches were on it, and it was like crack, and I lost really like about 10 stitches, and they ran for their lives, you could say. Like this silk is so drapey and so slippery. They went down like 4 or 5 rows, and I had an hour to kind of get everything back, and I didn't manage to make it without a mistake. I couldn't find 1 stitch, so I had to kind of improvise one. You can see here is we do these two here is a little row, so it's about 2, 4, 6, 8, it's about 10 stitches that went like down to here, and I had to kind of pull them up all the way. So not a nice thing to happen. It was I was so annoyed. I was like, no, half around before I finish this, and I have an hour longer just to get these stitches back up. And I had to really concentrate on it, because if you do a mistake, you see everything with this yarn. I had to kind of hide 1 or 2 mistakes I made. I made one here in the back. I hit it not badly, I have to say, but it's here. Here it is. You can see a bit, it's quite with the speckles, it's not that bad, but when I come closer you can see it. I did a mistake there, and I hit it, and I just sewed over it, and yeah, it's not visible anymore from the outside. I have also had one at the front, but I could manage to hide that one really well. Even I can't find it. Ah, there it is. Here. Little mistake. Yeah, I just kind of had one stitch that was way longer than all the rest, and I don't know why. So I pulled it until it was about the same, and then it was on the inside, and I just cut it and kind of tied the 2 tiny ends, and I'll just leave them like that, and tie it like once or twice, 3 times to be secure, and you can't actually see that one very well. So it's not the easiest yarn I've knit with. You see everything, you need to knit quite regularly and nicely, but it is a love and a dream. I love to wear it. It's wonderful. So I'll blend in some, excuse me, I have something in my eye. Oh, there it is. I'll blend in somewhere. I'll blend in some photos of me wearing the shirt. A friend of mine, who also makes always the thumbnails of the podcast, because I'm too much of a noob at computers to do that. Thank you, Tanya. I love you. For always doing that and helping me. She took some photos of me in the top, and you see them now here. It was a very, very fast knit. I had it in a week, and I had breaks and lots to do in the garden too, so I couldn't knit all the time there, but it's really a nice knit, and I love, and I'm looking forward to wearing this summer, hopefully. So yeah, it's a bit of a precious piece, so I might not wear it when I'm having handicrafts or drawing lessons, so I might kind of save it a bit for the nice parts, and I have other tops, knitted tops that in a cheaper yarn that are not that bad if something happens to them. I might knit this one again, the Hope top, because I really, really like it. I might take a little bit of a cheaper yarn, like a normal bamboo viscose something, so I have it again, but not in this very, very fancy yarn. But also I don't want to kind of save it for someone. I want to wear it, but just not like every day to school, but maybe just, yeah, when you are around with 19 kids and some of them are walking around with paint and everything, you don't want to wear your nicest clothes. That was my main finished object for this episode, and I have another one. I am making some socks for my dad. Some slipper socks, he calls them. He has one made by me, which is now I think about 2 years old. And he loves them. They are keeping up very nicely. He's a true sock killer, so this yarn is very good. It's held double fingering, so it's quite sturdy again, and I knitted them very tight needles. So it's quite sturdy and it holds up well, and he doesn't wear it in the shoes, he wears it at home when he's coming home from work and he's having a bit of cold feet. He likes to wear those. And he asked me if I could make him another one. I changed some things around. I asked him, how are the others? Are they keeping up nicely? Are they fitting nicely? And he said, yes, it could be a bit bigger because I wear them as slippers and not as socks. So he's wearing them maybe sometimes over socks. And I did that in just skipping the 2x2. Is it a 2x2 rip? Yeah, I think it's a 2x2 rip there. So I skipped the 2x2 rip and just did a plain stockinette one and a rip at the top. I use 3.5mm needles and I hold 2 fingering yarns double, so it's a DK weight sock. I'm already at the second one and we go fluently into the whip section with that. I'm at the foot. I always start my socks at the bottom and I'm knitting them, and I'm knitting them with the wool, the same wool as last time because I have some of it left. It's a huge yarn ball. I have no name tag or anything from the yarn. It's a sock yarn, I think maybe Shopple or something, but just a vague memory. I got this a very long time ago and for the longest time I couldn't touch it because it was too rough and scratchy for me. And now I have to say it feels like wool. Yes, not a soft wool, but I can touch it. I couldn't wear it in my neck, but it's okay to knit with. So I desensitized myself quite a bit. And I'm holding a unicorn solid by Hobbii with it, this nice dark blue. I love this, and they go together so well, I think. Like, it has this blue in it, and you see it on this first sock. On one point there's just almost identical. The two colors are almost identical, and I love the pattern that it makes. It's a bit more bluish, but with this gradient in there, so I really like how it looks. And the second one is a sibling, not a twin. So I didn't look where I started. I just cut off the thread and just restarted, and was not at the same place of the color repeat, but I don't mind that, and I think he doesn't mind it as well. I'm actually very short sleeve in front of the heel. You can't see anything, I'm sorry. So I have 1-2 centimeters to go, and then I do the heel, and I will finish those shortly so he has them ready for when he's when autumn's kicking in and winter's coming. He also wished for some fingerless mitts, and I will do those too, but I don't think I will use this wool. I think I will use something more acrylic, soft one, because the ones I knitted him, they are racked. They are in racks all over the place. They have holes and everything, and he kind of knotted the thread together. It's terrible. I said, you need new ones. Yeah, I know, I didn't want to ask you. I said, of course you can. So I gifted it to him for his birthday, a pair of these slippers, socks, and new fingerless mitts. So yeah. Then the second whip I'm currently on, and I only am on 2 whips at the moment, is my tulip sweater. And I have a yarn mess. So I started this tulip sweater in spring and I couldn't finish it for spring. So I wanted to finish it for autumn. This is my second tulip sweater by Ririko. So its proper name is Tulip, not tulip sweater, because I think there is another pattern called tulip sweater by someone else, but I always call it tulip sweater because it's a sweater and the pattern name is Tulip. So yeah, I did the feminine version. I will pull up the pattern somewhere here, and I did the version with the lace at the bottom and a little bit cropped, and it kind of, with the lace, it flares out a bit. So I didn't do the A-line shape that is in the pattern, but it has it naturally because of the lace. And I did kind of like 7/8 sleeves. I knitted the sleeves a bit too short, but as the whole sweater is a bit short, I don't mind it, and I never changed it. I mostly have it on, and when it's kind of in between weather, I want something with a bit longer sleeves than a shirt, but not long. and I kind of pull them up a bit so they end like a 3/4 sleeves. So that's how I wear it, and it works. But I realized in wearing it that it has there's one issue with the pattern, that the neckline kind of gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I went in and I just started and then added the neckline later to just give it a bit more structure, and I think it looks really nice too. So the thing was, I was stuck on Sleeve Island with that one. I was in the first sleeve around like just picking up, and I just left it. I didn't feel like knitting sleeves, but I want it definitely for autumn. So I knitted the first sleeve. First sleeve done. And I'm in the middle of the second sleeve. So not in the middle, I have some way to go. You see, the problem with me is I have quite a long torso and quite long arms. So when they write about knit about 35 centimeters or 40 centimeters for sleeves, I'm like, no, I'm knitting 50 centimeters for sleeves, measured at my underarm if it's quite fitted. It's quite a long way I have to knit. So this is 50 centimeters, and this is exactly to my wrist. If it stretches out too much, I can unravel it a bit. I prefer doing that. I never went in and elongated sleeves, but I took some back once or twice, so I don't mind that. But I don't go in and make them longer. And I didn't want them to be too short too, because I think the last ones were too short. I knitted them quite to where I was, and I was like, they will stretch, and they didn't stretch that much. So yeah, that's why I knit those now. Normal measurement, just where I want them. And so I'm finished with the body. This one is the simple version, I think she calls it. It only has the lace pattern under the arm on the side. It's a very nice lace pattern, and it has a normal garter bind off, and it does not have the lace at the bottom. And I just did the normal amount of repeats, and it's a bit longer than the other one, so it's a nice length. And I added, as I said, the collar on top. I picked up the stitches with the crochet hook, and then added also 4 rounds of garter stitch and bound off, and it's really a lot more sturdy than the other one. So this will not kind of, when I wear the other one, it kind of keeps growing during the day, and I don't like that particularly. So yeah, it also has a very nice pattern in the raglan sleeve, which I love, and it kind of goes over into this fabulous lace pattern, and it's all the way around till at the end. So it's a really nice pattern. It's nicely written. It has short rows written in it, but I added some more because I really like my neckline to be quite scooped. I hate when something is up here. Like this is, I would prefer it if it was a bit more scooped out, but it's just bearable. So I don't like it to be up here, so I always scoop my necklines a bit more. Mostly I'm doing that with adding more short rows. I added short rows. I added more than she did, like 2 times more, I think, so 4 rows, short rows more than she did in the pattern, and I added some after splitting for sleeves, but I just did it on the back panel and not at the front, so I stopped before the lace parts. Looking forward on having this one, and I think in the next episode this will be a finished object, and depending on the weather I might wear this one or my hope top. I hope it's the hope top. It will be a bit soon for the long sleeved sweaters. That was it already for finished objects and whips, because I'm still very much in the garden doing stuff, being outside and just enjoying nature, and only knitting in the evening, but I have some plans which I'm allowing myself to cast on when I finish that sleeve. That's a bit of a pressure I can put on myself if I'm on Sleeve Island. I say you only cast on something garment bigger, one thing when you finish the sleeve. But I want to cast on something smaller for me with a bit of a lighter yarn than the one of my dad's sock. I want to do some fingerless mittens, quite simple ones. I casted on something yesterday evening, but I don't think I like it too much and it's too big, so I have to rip it out again and start over, which is fine, I don't mind fiddling around a bit. And yeah, I have one more finished object, but this is a knitting related sewing project. I sewed myself, and it's falling out. What an entrance. You should stay in here, my dear. So I've sewn a needle case for my interchangeable Knit Pro needles. Looks like this. I love this fabric. It's a fabric I bought at a fabric fair, kind of, in Germany. There's, near the border, there's a fabric fair every autumn and spring. And they have this lovely twill fabric that is quite sturdy. And I bought this one to make myself a bag for sewing. And I had the rest of it and I used it to make a knitting needle case. I always had the original packages and the needles kind of stuck in, but I had lost some packages and I had to squeeze in 2 pairs of needle in one package and different sizes, but only one was on top of it. It was a bit of a nuisance. Then I had the cable somewhere else and the end bits. So the end bits are still somewhere else because I find them unpractical to have it in here. It's kind of bulky. So I sewed this thing with a leather strap and a lovely button, also from the fabric fair, which is a button from my winter coat. And then you kind of can flip it out and you have 3 pouches in it, which offer the cables, the smaller, the medium and the long ones. And then if you flip that up, you have the needles. So I still have some space. I made myself a big pouch. So it's from 3mm up to, I think, 8 millimeter needles. And of course my 3mm needle is, it's only one left because the second one is broken. So I have 3, 3.5, 3.75, 4, 4.5, 5 and so on. And some of them I have double, because I knit a lot with 3.75 and 3.5 and 4s and 4.5. I have them doubled. The bigger ones I only have one, that's normally enough. So I really love this. They don't fall out normally if I hold it upright, although I wouldn't kind of shake it too much. I could have added an elastic, but it's, for my uses, it's okay. I'm not kind of traveling around a lot and have to pack it or whatever. So yeah, I'll just leave it like this. I can close it by just wrapping around the leather on the front, around the knot. And yeah, it keeps everything nicely together. I love this one. So I knitted this. I used a plain kind of cotton fabric I had in my stash. So 2 of them actually, one at the bottom and one at the top. So yeah, it's nothing too special and it's very crooked. The lines are very crooked and not straight and the corners are not all the same and it's not rectangular. It has some flaws, but I still love it. I have a place to put my needles. Then I have some acquisitions, although 2 of them are gifts. And I forgot them to put them in my last podcast. Oh, ashes on my head. But over my head? Ashes over my head? I don't know. I got these beautiful yarns from 2 friends, working friends, colleagues, who became friends. And they bought me this yarn for my birthday. So this is a wool maillot a mano. It's 60% alpaca, 20% cashmere, and 20% silk, made in Peru, so it's a really lovely soft yarn. Although with the alpaca it will not become a scarf for me, I know that already. But the colors are just stunning. This vibrant bluish lilac, purple blue thing, it's a really nice color. Has the color name? No, it's color 2025, it doesn't have a name. And this is color 2002. It's a lovely, rich, earthy chocolate brown. So I am the 322 stitches of the DK. I might think of doing a Musselburgh hat with that one. Would be very nice, I think. Or something else. Something I have to figure out what to do with it. Some of it will definitely go into my sweet shop blanket. And I just love the colors and it's so soft. So it will become something nice. So then I got also for my birthday with this wool, I got some tea and towels and everything. So really a lovely kind of basket. And this was also in it. And it's a little notions thing. When I open it, it looks like that. So there's a tape measure in it with inches and centimeters. How can I have to press it. So, and of course it's Paris or France themed. So I have a pin with the Eiffel Tower. I have some nice needle stoppers, needles, scissor. And this is very handy to take to holiday. I'm really looking forward to that. And I have to show you the little stitch markers. So they got me a set of stitch markers with one of my favorite fruits, with the watermelon. Like a half a melon, a full melon, and a quarter melon or third, I don't know, but it's lovely. I love them. Perfect summery stitch markers. In this little notions box there was a stitch marker thing themed by France. So we have the croissant, we have the glass of wine and the wine bottle, of course. We have a perfume, and we have a macaron, of course. Of course, a macaron. And yeah, I think it's a Chanel number 5. So I love it. It's so cute. Lovely, lovely present. Then I purchased something. I was at the knit meeting up with Forever Taiga yarns, and of course I saw some yarn there. How could it be otherwise? One skein is here, but I have another one here. I have 4 of those. Look at this gorgeous, I can't even tell what this color is like. It's a golden copper color, I would say. It's very special. It's a DK weight yarn, 80% merino, 20% silk. So it's a merino silk. It's gorgeous. And I'm getting another one of that merino silk in a neutral, so undyed hank. It will be something about this color. And I want to do a Kerr sweater with that one. So the Kerr sweater by the Creabea is now on my list since I think 2 years now. And I never had the wool to go with it. And now finally I know the colors. I want this and the white, but maybe an off-white. It will be something like this. So the contrast should be good. And I'm looking forward to doing that one this winter. But I will not start it. It's 2nd of August, so this Saturday I go again to the knitting meetup, because then she will have prepared my undyed hank and she will have dyed another lilac color for my Foliosa scarf, so I can knit on with that one too. But this is a winter project. It's DK weight, it's merino yarn, so I don't want to start it now. It will get hot again, I'm sure of that. So this is a project in these colors, like autumn. Perfect autumn project. And I want some more drop shoulder sweaters in my wardrobe, so I'm planning to do this winter a Kerr sweater and another stick season maybe from the Creabea. I think maybe it will be a Staffin. I'm not sure. The second one I haven't decided yet. But first I want to start with the vest. I have the yarn since last year's Swiss Yarn Festival, and I intended to do a Lauder vest, and I'm still intending to do that, like the cable one by the Creabea. And I really want to get going with that. As soon as I finish the sleeve, I will do a gauge swatch with the yarn. I will actually ball it up first and then do the gauge swatch. And then I'll see if it works out. It's a tweed yarn, so I'm hoping it's okay for cables. The other option I would have is a Staffin vest, which I also very like, but I would prefer a V-neck vest to a round neck one. But I will see. If I don't, for some reason, don't like the yarn in a cable pattern with a Lauder pattern, I might do a Staffin, and I tried that one. And if that also doesn't work, then I find something else for a vest. But I think this will work. So one of those will work. It's a white yarn. That's it. This one is a short one today. But I'm knitting more, and I really feel my knitting mojo coming back. And if I look out of the window and see the forest, it's not that vibrant green anymore. It starts to turn just a bit more yellowish green. It's still green, it's still summer, but I can definitely feel autumn kind of sneaking around the corner or something. Sneak peeking? Do you say it like that? Sneak peeking around the corner. He might vanish again for some weeks, but it's not that far. And it's not that far to our 1 year anniversary being in this house. So 24th of September we moved in. We bought it. We actually have anniversary of buying the house, kind of somewhere in July was the signature. And yeah, I'm still unbelievably happy to be here, although it came along with a bit of a knitting break and a knitting mojo break. I found my mojo again. I'm looking forward to knitting those 2 jumpers, and I actually have a third one in my mind to make. So I have 3 jumpers and a shawl for this autumn winter. So I have to get going, and a vest. So lots of plans. That's it, actually. If you like this podcast, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps it. You can write a message into it. I love responding to your messages underneath the videos. And you can find me on Instagram as knitting_Eillets. And you can find me on Ravelry as Eillets. So see you next time. Have a nice rest of the week wherever you are, and bye.